YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode, I'm going to tackle a very controversial subject apparently, and that is what is best for your home defense as far as inside the house, outside the house, what have you. And apparently the debate is between a 12 gauge shotgun, in this case a 12 gauge pump action shotgun, the Mossberg Maverick 88. Takes 2 3/4 inch or 3/4 inch shells. I bought this gun, I was 18 years old, first one I ever bought, $199 at a gun show. We're going to compare it to the venerable AR-15, in this case a Barrett Rec 7. We're not judging the individual firearms themselves between the Barrett or the Mossberg. Both of these firearms have been very, very good to me. No problems, no issues. We're judging kind of the platforms, okay? These are two of the most popular firearms in the United States of America, a 12 gauge shotgun and an AR-15, okay? Neither of these is really outside the box of a normal run-of-the-mill 12 gauge or AR-15. Yes, I know they have the race kind of Beretta 12 gauge shotguns, but that's not what we're doing today. We're doing kind of the basics. A couple of caveats have to be made here. We're not going to judge individual firearms between Barrett or Mossberg. We're not going to judge individual calibers and performance. I'm not going to get into the various different types of shells you can do with a shotgun and the whole Clint Smith, you know, the right round at the right range.
Shotguns at the right range with the right load will physically remove a chunk of shit off your opponent and throw that shit on the floor. And you will have to get someone to come in and clean this shit up with a shovel. But it's got to be the right load at the right range.
All of that stuff, she is correct. Same thing goes for the AR. Just going to be doing 55 grain full metal jacket, nothing special, nothing fancy. Again, it's run-of-the-mill stuff. That's what we're doing. If you want to get into specialization, then you're probably going to have some sort of pistol or something like that. So that's caveat number one. Caveat number two is we're just going to assume that the user of these is very well versed in how the firearms work. Capacity is going to come into this conversation, but reloading is not going to be something that really comes into today's conversation because you can train that in or out of you, okay? There are people that struggle to reload an AR. There's people that really struggle to load a shotgun into the tube, vice versa, what have you. That also takes, you know, anyway, not getting into that today. We're not going to get into the specifics. We're not going to talk about over penetration or anything like that. That's a separate discussion. That's ballistics. Same thing, kind of along the same lines of the ammo. We're not going to talk about, we're just going to assume the ammo is sufficient for the job that we're doing in these different scenarios that I have set up. It's also not a discussion about male versus female, who can handle what. Again, we're going to assume that if you're a 95-pound female and you have a shotgun that's in 12 gauge and you're shooting 3-inch double-aught buck, 9 pellet or something like that, we're going to assume you've trained with it, you know what it does, you know how to handle it, okay? So we're not going to discuss all of that stuff. All right, so I'm going to do a baseline kind of damage test, if you will. I've got the AR. We're at 7 yards. You got 55 grain full metal jacket, 5.56 ammo, nothing special. What I want to do is, if someone's not familiar, kind of give them an idea of what we're talking about round to round, okay? This is not necessarily a ballistics or anything special test, but if you're not familiar necessarily with what a shotgun can do versus what an AR can do, one round, this should probably give you an idea, and it should be kind of cool. But we'll see on that part. Anyway, got a piece of 1/2-inch plywood or whatever the fractional is now. Still 1/2 inch to me in my beautiful world of the past. But anyway, 7 yards, AR-15. So now I've got the shotgun. We're still at our 7 yards. Got our 12 gauge. This is a 9 pellet double-aught buck, 7 yards. See what kind of results we get on this one. Check it out. Well, if you're hiding behind it, it's going to be a bad day either way. Give you the up close. It's the front of our 1/2 inch. This is our 5.56 55 grain. This is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pellets. All right there. Exit wounds. Nothing too crazy. Very not crazy for the 5.56. So the 5.56, I hold it up to the sun. I can't see through it. Obviously, with the shotgun and the double aught buck, you can see through the target. So this is where a lot of the lore of a shotgun comes from, because of what you can do one round to one round, if you will. Again, not going to get into the specifics of different ammunition, but
Double up black at 3 yards, big asshole.
all right, full disclosure, there's a pasty on the target because the camera wasn't on last time. We're very professional here at the Toxic American channel. But anyway, so what I have set up here, the idea here is I'm coming down a hallway. We have our intruder I'm coming down a hallway. We have our intruder who's also down like another hallway. Maybe I'm coming out of a doorway, a bedroom, what have you. I'm going to see an intruder down the hallway, down a short corridor, whatever it is. But I have a wall here. Assume these are walls, so I can't see around it. So I've got the AR. The target is a cutout of a 66% replica of a torso. So that's going to be our target. We're going to assume that we know for a fact someone is in the structure of the home, whatever. It's not a terrorist, so this isn't like one of those clear the room scenarios where they're waiting on you behind a barrel just to, take you out, what have you. So I'm going to go through. Obviously, I know the target's there. I'm going to try to make the best shot I can. Probably going to do 2 or 3 rounds, but anyway, again, optics on, magazine has a round in it. We have our sling on. We kind of know something's up, right? So here we go. Also not going to be just at a low ready. I'm going to have the weapon up because, again, I know someone's in the structure. So let's do this. And the safety is going to be off because when we bring our rifle up, our safety comes off, as we all know. Let's go. I don't remember if I mentioned, but we're just at 7 yards. To check the hits. We have, in no particular order, 1, 2, 3 hits. I don't know what zones these are because I don't really care, but I have 3 hits to a torso with a 5.56 rifle at approximately 7 yards. I like my odds. Let's try the same thing, the shotgun. All right, same test, now with our 12 gauge. I just have this loaded with, I think, number 6 birdshot. Again, we're just gonna assume that I'm using some buck. I don't really wanna use a whole bunch of buckshot. One, because it's costs a little more money than this crap, and I have a ton of this stuff, but also, I really don't wanna destroy my shoulder today, so there's that part. Call me whatever you want, but we're at 7 yards. We're gonna repeat the same test. Remember, gonna be ready to shoot. We're gonna have our safety off, all of that stuff. So, see what we do with the shotgun. Oh hell, he didn't just run off, did he? Do you think the results on that one are? Well, we peppered him. Got him pretty good. So a whole bunch of hits. 3 rounds of shotgun ammo is going to be pretty devastating at 7 yards. That's for one thing. These are the wads, guys, if you're not familiar with a shotgun shell. So that's the wad coming through, which probably does hurt. I don't know if it deletes you, but it's going to hurt. But that's a lot more shot hits, right? Well, I'm going to put up a new target, and we're going to try something a little different. Okay, so it's still the same test, at least the same setup, but there's a lot of FUD lore out there that tells us that a shotgun with a spread, you don't even have to aim, and you've just woken up, let's say, and this is the scenario, I just woke up, there's someone in my house, I'm coming out of the bedroom, oh my God, there's a guy with a gun. Let's just test that kind of hipfire scenario, okay? I don't know that I've ever hipfired a shotgun, ever. Even if I have, I'm not very good at it, or I haven't done it a lot, I haven't trained for it, so. See what happens. Already got one in the chamber because we already realized and know that just by racking a shotgun, they don't just run off. Dumbest thing ever. All right. Is the safety off if you're doing the hip fire? I don't know. FUDs, put it in the comments. Is that what you do? You know why it's called FUD, right? Because Elmer FUD? I'm going with safety off. Yeah. Be very quiet. I'm hunting wabbits. Oh no! Huh. We are safe, by the way. Well, damn, that's interesting. Oh, that was a bug. I got one hit. One number 6 bird shot hit. Now, in all seriousness, I'm trying to hit here, but I did hit here right in the groin area, and we all know that you can't tourniquet a taint, so we'll count that, I guess, but
Shoot him in the crotch.
yeah. Guess prove that wrong. I can hear the typing now of the iPhone with its sound on, clickety clackety tickety tackety. Oh no, the FUDs are in the comments. All right, I guess in fairness, I have to hip fire the AR as well, right? Or no, I don't, because no one's ever said, all you got to do is just point and shoot it. Can we let the FUD stuff die? Like, go away, die? Not like die, but like never talk about it again, of the dumbness of just rack it or just point and shoot. You ain't even got to aim. God, Jesus Christ, you guys. I don't know, what conclusion can we really make other than both of these are going to work in their respective scenarios. But the fact of the matter is this: shotguns are great. You can do any number of things with them. They have multiple applications. You can pretty much get them in any jurisdiction. You can own one of these in any various form, whether that's a pump, a semi-auto, a single shot, a double barrel, whether that's an over-under, side-by-side, what have you. Shotguns are pretty ubiquitous. Now, they might have a barrel restriction in your local municipality, but whatever. It's kind of the utility gun, if you will. Like, it'll do a lot of things. You can hunt with it, obviously. You can defend yourself with it. And an AR. I mean, what more is to be said about an AR? There's any number of configurations you can do. You can SBR them. You can get longer barrels, shorter barrels, multiple calibers. You can change the uppers. I mean, 2 pins. You can put a different upper on here. You can swap calibers by just swapping the upper into a different caliber. You can go to 300 blackout. You can go to some other new fancy caliber that I forget the name of. I think you can do 6.5 Creedmoor. Doesn't really, you can do 22 long rifle, but the fact is this is the most versatile rifle out there. There's some ergonomic things that just you can't really get over with a shotgun. Yes, you can put pistol grips and sliding stocks like you find on pretty much every AR. You can put that. You can upgrade your shotgun to do that. That's fine. I've had one on this before. I hated it because as you cheek weld on it, you have this pistol grip right here. Well, it wants to come straight back. So you don't have the actual like hand grip like you have here. So what you would get is you would get hit in the cheek bone by the top of that stock. So I went back to the original. Can you train around that? Sure. There's nothing really to train around on this. The ergonomics, again, are another thing. If you're talking about being on top of shooting on a barrier or something like that, or shooting around a corner, and yes, I know you don't have to get a pump shotgun, but when you have a pump shotgun, you have that problem of if you're on the barrier, well, what are you going to set on the barrier? You know, that's a consideration. Or if you're just against the wall, you know, you come around the wall. Okay, well, one of the things that an AR is notorious for being able to do, one is you can collapse the stock. Again, we can get over that on a shotgun by upgrading the stock. But the other thing you can do, and I've seen some special operations guys tell us that you can do this. Hell, I don't know. I'm not one of those guys, but as they come in around a corner, instead of being up on their shoulder, they'll pop the rifle up over their shoulder. So now you're shortening your rifle up even more. Try doing that with a shotgun and then actually having to shoot it. I mean, that is a reload technique, is to throw the shotgun on your shoulder and reload on the underside, and that's fine. But trying to shoot effectively, I mean, it's a recipe for disaster, because the fact of the matter is, on a shotgun, if you're going to have any sort of effectiveness, you're going to have to use a very high-powered shell. I used a few number 6 birdshot, nothing behind those, easy to shoot. That is not going to do what you need it to do in a self-defense situation. You're just going to piss somebody off. Will they run off? Maybe. Hell, I don't know. But we're not in the game of someone running off, okay? If we're in the game of someone running off, I guess we could throw rocks at them or any number of things. But this, I mean, you literally can just, it's not a big deal. There's no super squirrely recoil. You can do this. It's not a big deal. You can hip fire better, you know? Although that we saw that hip firing is a complete waste of time and a joke. Can you train yourself to hip fire? Probably. Why the hell would you? That makes zero sense. You're gonna go to the range and do this? If you got the whole tube shot off before they threw you out of there, I'd be shocked. I'm a guy who likes a shotgun. This is not what you need for a home defense weapon, okay? It's just not. If it's all you can get, it's perfect. But if you're gonna go with a home defense, kind of universal defense, let's be honest, the best home defense weapon's a pistol, because you can do this with it. This is your best home defense weapon right here. I can come around a corner like this. I can have it like this. So if I pop around a corner and there's someone there, oh man, let's assume they're like right here. Oh man. And then I can, of course, pop up and actually aim with the thing. But at 15 yards, is that pistol gonna work? We got a shot. I'm on acreage. I don't wanna go outside with a pistol unless it's just, that's a self-defense weapon. I'm walking the dog, but if I hear a bump in the night, this is what's coming out every time. Every time, especially if I'm going outside. This is the thing. I mean, it's set up to do it. This is what's coming out. So if you're still watching, thank you. Join us on the podcast. You can join us live on either Rumble or the Twitter every Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Central. It's called Pirate Radio, or I upload the episode to the YouTubes, usually Saturday. Sometimes it's the same night, just a little bit later on, but usually by Saturday, Sunday, the episode will be up. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Do the whole like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. It helps something called an algorithm, whatever it is. But I think the debate's settled. If you're going to go overall home defense, and it's, you know, one ring to rule them all. AR is always going to beat the shotgun.